I wrote a post on Facebook the other day, and it started with, if he wasn't with you, he would be with another woman. Right? The point of that post was to get women to understand that the absence of your presence doesn't stop anything for a man, right? Just think of all the men that you rejected. Their pursuit of women didn't end with your rejection. Life will go on without you, right? Men need women. They don't need you in particular. No man needs me. No man's life is going to end with my absence. End after my absence, right? And men hear me say they need women, they don't need you. Men are hearing it like they need women to survive. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying whatever men need women for, they can get it from a woman. They don't need one woman in particular. If you reject him, he will move on to someone else, right? Women take men and interactions with them too seriously. And they don't take their lives and the results and the consequences seriously enough, right? I was speaking on Facebook last night about women not knowing how to have friendly, casual banter with men. They don't know how to engage in harmless flirting and, back and forth and things that will never go anywhere. I believe that men go into the world with an acceptance that they will be rejected, and not in the head frame of their failures and they're going to be rejected. Is that they got to work for what they want, right? I know no sane man thinks they're going to be successful with all the women that they pursue. I know they know they're not going to be successful with 98% of the women they're going to pursue, right? That's the mentality I have. I'm not dealing with no man that's approaching me in the street. But that doesn't mean that I have to be nasty and rude and off-putting, right? You don't owe anybody niceties, but if you take the seriousness off of interacting with men and realizing that he doesn't need you in particular, he may want access to you, it would be a lot easier to deal with men. So I talk about social skills a lot, right? I had a group session last week. Learning how to advocate for yourself, learning how to present yourself, learning how to speak, right? How to have conversations, how to enroll people, how to disarm people, how to present yourself to the world. It are skills that many women lack. And so women deal with men as teenagers would deal with teenage boys. It's how you would deal with a hard-headed boy as opposed to a man, right? And I attribute that a lot to a lot of limited men approach women. So women don't have the luxury of dealing with a man, like a grown man, right? Men hardly ever approach me. But the ones that have the courage to are men. So I don't approach them with I don't engage with disrespect and just nastiness. Like, women just have a demeanor and disposition, and I know it's to protect yourself. I get it. I'm a woman. But when you mature and you know how to speak to people, you won't have to have that nasty approach, that nasty demeanor and disposition. And I spoke about this before. Your disposition is everything. And a lot of women just have that just, and I get it. But you got to evolve out of that, because it's only taking from you. Again, you don't owe anybody niceties, but you don't have to be rude and nasty and off-putting. Men pursue you, I believe, with the expectation to be rejected. And a lot of times men are not pursuing you for anything. Everybody don't want you. Right? I think that women have this inflated sense of self. Every man that speaks to you doesn't want you. And again, I'm talking about mature men with a mind and intelligence. I'm not talking about bums and riffraff. Right? I don't interact with those people. Even online, like when certain men comment, I don't even acknowledge it, because in real life they would never even speak to me. The internet is a space where men who would never have access to pretty women or women in general get to talk to women and look at. Like, I don't pay them any mind. I don't take most interactions with men seriously. It's just a person who I'm engaging in a conversation with, or, you know, pleasantries with. It ain't that deep. I'm not looking for my husband, and no man is looking for their wife. And like, I don't think men are looking at women in the street and say, "Oh, that's my wife." They're engaging with you, and it ain't that deep. It ain't that serious, right? Again, men need women. They don't need me in particular, right? They may want access to me. They might want my attention or whatever, but it ain't that deep for me anyway. When you don't know how to interact with people, when you don't know how to advocate for yourself, when you're always on defense, right? This is where this nasty disposition comes from, right? When you're in that space energetically and mentally, everything is going to be a fight with you, right? So this guy pulls up next to me, and he's in an expensive vehicle, and he's trying to make small talk with me, and I engage. It's just a quick little back and forth. So he says, anytime you need to fix your car, call me. That's his way, his entryway. So I'm like, call you? Why? Just call a dealer. He said, you're going to the dealer? You know how much a headlight costs for your car? It's about $3,000. And I said, well, if I got the car, I should be able to afford that, right? And he was like, and you just move on with life. It ain't that deep. Everybody's not trying to sleep with me. I don't believe that. Even if it's true, I don't operate in that way, right? Things are very light and simple with me, right? Because life for me, what I'm going for in life, that's serious, not men. And I know, you know, this may align with the pick-me rhetoric. You know, anytime women don't hear what they want to hear, or they hear, you know, messages that don't promote hostility and, you know, anger towards men, then you're a pick-me, right? You know, that's how remedial a lot of women are. And this is for women who want to evolve out of that teenage mentality, like you gotta fight every boy that talks to you type of thing, right? Like, I'm a grown-up. I'm not operating in that space. I'm sure that the sane men of the world know that they're just not going to approach a woman and they're just going to automatically be with her. Like, that's not how courting works. Right? Everything ain't that deep. Sometimes people just want an exchange with another human. Not that you owe anybody that. I'm not saying that you have to do it. I'm saying get out of the mind frame that everything is a serious interaction. Sometimes it's just a hello, right? Or a little friendly banter. Sometimes you don't feel like talking, and you don't have to be. You don't have to. But you don't have to have a nasty disposition along with it, right? This is for you. This is not for men. Now, men are going to gravitate to this message because they want access to women. But I don't give a fuck about men. It ain't that deep. As I said before, it's not that serious with men. I don't care. This message is for women to start to embody that light and feminine way. You have to learn how to protect yourself also with that, because men will take advantage of it. They don't know how to. Sometimes they don't know how to reel themselves in, and you got to learn how to do that as a woman. Right? I don't allow men to drain and exhaust me. It's never that serious or deep with men. They're just here. And if I engage in friendly back and forth, then I engage in friendly back and forth, and I go on about my life. The serious shit in my life has nothing to do with men. Men are not lost. I am not looking for a man. Right? So I don't operate in the world that way. And I'm not going to walk around on defense and in fear because I don't want men talking to me. Oh, I'm tired of rejecting men. Like, you're a woman. There are things that just comes along with being a woman that you're not going to be able to stop. Even if you try to dress bummy, even if you try to put on hundreds of pounds, you're still a woman. That essence of you is still there. So why not revel in it, bask in it? I spoke about this before. I love being a woman. I love it. I'm not going to allow men to beat that out of me, to drain that out of me. I'm not going to allow that. And how I don't allow that is realizing that most shit with men is not serious, right? I'm not looking for a husband. Men need women, whatever they need them for. They don't need me in particular. I don't have to fulfill their needs. And if I don't, there will be somebody else who will. Even if I am fulfilling a man's needs, there's always another woman that's willing to do it. Like, none of this shit is that serious for me. None of it. All right? Things that matter, things that are serious, are things that I'm building for my life. Right? I like to feel like a woman. I like to feel feminine. I like to feel light. And I'm going to be that way. I'm not going to allow men to drain it out of me. And I'm not going to allow women to drain it out of me, because women are fucking exhausting too. You're parasites just like men are. Right? So this is for those who want to take that chip off of their shoulders. Right? I'm telling you, when you take that chip off your shoulder, when you get rid of that nasty demeanor and disposition, and you will start to repel certain men. Most of the time, men don't talk to me or approach me. Most of the time. And I am the way that I am. Right? I don't walk around with a resting bitch face. I'm not nasty and rude and these things that women think are repelling men. You don't have to be that way. Learning social skills and how to advocate for yourself, and learning how to disarm people, enroll people in things, learning how to back people off. These are skills that you need so that you don't have to walk around in constant defense. It really helps to be lighthearted about things that really don't matter. Most men don't matter. Right? Not that their lives are meaningless. They just don't matter to me. So I'm not going to operate in a way that their presence affects me so much that I have to be so defensive and keep them at bay. Like, I'm not operating in the world like that. But again, I know how to protect myself. Right? I know how to advocate for myself. I know how to operate in a way where men think twice before they say and do some of the wild shit that they say and do to women. And also, my demeanor and my energy keeps away the riffraff, right? Keeps away the nutcases that roam the earth, right? Am I immune to certain things? No. But for the most part, ain't nobody saying or doing the crazy shit to me, right? It doesn't happen. It happens more online than ever in real life, right? Because online is a safe space for men and women, right? So your life force is yours to enjoy. It's so much more fun to just be lighthearted, right? Realizing that most men ain't serious and ain't to be taken serious. It ain't that deep. Every man that talks to you ain't gonna be your husband. Every man that asks you out on a date, it may not even go any further than the date, right? Like, you gotta relax. Take life seriously, right? Your future, right? Your money, your accomplishments, your goals. That's what you take seriously, not men. Unless it's your man, right? And even him.